Just a word of advice to some of the younger technicians that are out there. When you come and work on a unit, now I'm not running this behind myself, someone else was here. You work on a unit, you hook up gauges, you're checking pressures, you're doing maintenance, whatever you're doing. When you put the caps back on, especially when they have these plastic caps, you see the oil residue in there, but the O-ring that seals it is missing. You don't have to tighten these with a wrench, you just finger tighten them. That's why they're not hex fittings like these. These caps flare seal, so you take a wrench and you snug them down and they stay sealed pretty good. These plastic caps, you got to make sure your O-ring is in there, because that Schrader core is going to stick out just a tad past the end of this fitting. And if you put that cap back on there and you try to snug it on there real tight, the back of this thing is going to push against that Schrader pin, and you're going to lose a little refrigerant, and it's not going to seal because the O-ring's not in there. And that's why that oil is there. That's why there's oil residue all over this pipe right here. So make sure your O-ring is back inside your cap. I typically, when I find one missing, will come back with a brass cap and put on there. It's got an O-ring in it. I don't like the plastic caps myself, but that's what Trane started using. They used to put that flare fitting over here, that cap, and if it stayed on there for a long time without ever being taken off, you had to backstop this thing, because if you tried to turn it and it was stuck, you could, and I did it a long time back in the day, you break this thing loose and then you got to re-seal this whole fitting and the charge and vacuum and dryer and all that jazz. So I'm assuming that's why they went to these plastic caps. Brass ones would be better, but you know, Trane likes to save a penny like anybody else. But that thing will sit here and leak with the back of that cap pushed against that Schrader core, and then it's going to lose charge, and well, somebody's going to have to come back and put refrigerant in it. So just make sure you remember, check your caps for your O-rings before you put them back on, because these Schrader valves always leak anyway. You put a leak detector on a brand new one out here and you're going to pick up some refrigerant 9 times out of 10. So just be aware of that. Make sure you tighten your caps, your O-ring seals are back in them, and that'll prevent a follow-up issue that could have been prevented if we just simply checked the caps. So thanks for watching.